Peace, power, and prosperity, y'all. What I want to talk to y'all today about, I want to talk to y'all about using music in your rituals. Now, I've talked about this before, but I want to put some salt on it, sprinkle some, seasoning on it a little bit. Now, you see how they have these verses, how you go to different concerts, you may go to different festivals. Their music may just be hot, right? What you could do when you are affirming, when you are visualizing, right? What you do is you use their music as a carrier wave. For instance, the verses just happened, right? With Ja Rule and Ashanti. Now, Ja Rule and Ashanti, even Fat Joe's music, right? It has a different frequency right now. There's a different carrier wave. Because what happens is what sound does is it vibrates the molecules in the air. So sound carries, right? Sound travels. So sound is a carrier wave for your intentions. So if you listen to the music, you could even listen to the instrumentals, right? Also frequency music, binaural beats, isochronic tones, right? To use the frequency as a carrier wave. But you could use like the versus battles. If you've been to a recent show, if you've been to a recent concert, if you've been to, if you see music is popping on TV, popular music that a lot of people are tuned into, you can use that beat and that vibration as a carrier wave, depending on what you want to manifest. If you want to manifest love, right, you're going to use the vibration of love. You're going to listen to some R&B. You're going to listen to something that makes you feel close. You're going to listen to something that makes you feel affectionate. And then you're going to project that out into the world by using the imagery of love, by using the sound of love, and by really feeling it intensely, right? Feeling it with all 5 of your senses when you are visualizing while the music is playing. You do it all the time, especially if you've heard songs that you've heard 30, 40 times, but you just like the beat and the vibe of the musician at this point, right? At that point, I should say. So you're basically just tuned into the music for the vibration, especially music like that. It's a great way, sorry, I don't know what's going on out here. I'm out here, New York City. But you can use the music as a carrier wave and use the frequency of the music to plant your own intention. And when you plant an intention, the words you're always going to say, especially when you're doing an affirmation, you're going to say, I am. The reason you say, I am, Om, I am. The Om, the Hindu mantra Om, which is basically the frequency of vibration. It vibrates the water in your body. I've said this before. You tap into the I am, the Om. Also, it's hidden in Om So, Om Sil, Om, right? Remember, information was first communicated through language. We communicated through the griots, through tonal languages, through exchanging stories, right? Because exchanging stories is where you get the plays, it's where you get the movies, it's where you get the Marvel, it's where you get the video games even, right? You're creating stories. So creating stories makes a myth or makes a message easy to understand. So every movie has some sort of mystery or message, even if the message just have fun or it's just, let's see what crazy thing we could do on screen. So but back to music, the energy, the frequency, and the vibration of the music you use will be what you manifest in that time. So you have to match the frequency with the intention. You know what I'm saying? So you would listen to them, you know what I'm saying? Throw up some commas by Future, right? Throw up some commas. Throw up some commas, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or any money tune that you could think of. Get Money by Big, whatever money tune you could think of. And you ride that carrier wave with your intention. You feel yourself in luxury. You feel yourself in comfort. And don't just go for luxury immediately. Go for what you really need. Go for what's really important. Go for what would make your day better. Go for what will make your life better. Go with things that are in your grasp, that is in that frequency of that sound wave, that it could be really attained. That's what you're looking for. You want to go for things that are within the frequency of the sound wave of the music, how it sounds to your ear, how it makes you feel. emotions or energy in motion, right? How it makes you feel. Like this is upbeat music, right? So this is not necessarily music I would do to do, love work. This might be money work music, right? This is probably more like abundance work music, or this is just a de-stressing music, you know what I'm saying? Where maybe you want to dance, and dance is healing. Shit, dance in your house by yourself, dance with your kids. You should be doing a step or two, right? Or movement. If you're not doing no dance, you definitely should be working out or into some physical fitness. But you got to move that body yaddy, because the body got to circulate. Just like life circulates, just like the globe circulates, the body got to circulate. That's a frequency in itself, right? That's a vibration. But listen, tap into music, like the verses music. Yo, right now, the frequency is very high on both artists. It happens every verses, right? When you tap into their music. But if it's something that you heard already, then you just use it as a carrier wave. And it's a carrier wave for your intention. It's a carrier wave for your manifestation. And you do it during the song, but you have to be conscious of it, right? And you might have to dance or do a two-step or do a head nod to put yourself and keep yourself in that particular frequency using the music to manifest. But you can use the music to manifest. Everything in life has energy, right? The only reason you're seeing a hand here is because the atoms are vibrating slowly on my hand. But my hand still is here. It still exists. It exists because the atoms are vibrating slowly, so it makes it matter. But remember, when you leave the shell, you turn into dark energy, so you don't need much matter. That's why there's more dark energy in the universe than dark matter, right? So you're riding the carrier wave, you're riding this shit like a horse with your manifestation, with whatever, even when you're doing spell work, when you got your candles lit, when you're doing your spirit baths, when you're working with your sigils, when you're creating your puppets, whatever type of magic you are into, right? You can use music as a carrier wave to enhance it. You just have to project your imagination and use all five senses and project your I am, your own, your iron, your own, your own, your own, your own, your own, your I am. So it's all tonal at the end of the day. That's why we didn't write a lot of things down. A lot of things were written on the walls. The things that are written on the wall are symbolism, because each symbol has a frequency. Each symbol has a vibration. It's not about the animal. It's not about the sun. It's not about the moon. And it's not about the falcon. It's about what does that represent? What is the energy behind it? So you could tap in right now. The day that I'm recording this, it is actually the equinox, the fall equinox. So equal night, equal day. And it is a great day today to tap in and do some candle magic if you can. Tap into some candle frequency. Get a $2 candle and create a wish. You know what I'm saying? Look up a spell on Pinterest. For whatever you need, for whatever you need. Just make sure it's realistic. Everybody right now, because of the rappers, the singers, the entertainers, they think that they need, 3 Bentleys and 20 homes. You know what I'm saying? But have you really been around people with money like that? And see if they're happy. Some are, don't get me wrong. But some aren't, too. Don't think that that's going to change everything because you get a lot of money. Get money for sure, because you need money to survive, you need money to travel, you need money to live, you want to experience things. And yes, you want to be comfortable, so definitely get money, but don't make money your God. Make your development, make your growth, make your spirituality, make your attunement, make that your priority. And everything else is going to fall into place. Everything else will fall into place. And make critical thinking your priority. Like, stop just falling for everything because it triggers your emotions. We have to learn to stop getting triggered, even myself, you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking like, yo, I'm just not for the arguments anymore. And it's really more so about just like what energy, it's the energy I control. So if I choose to argue, it takes two. If I choose to go back and forth, it takes two. So it's a problem, just solve it, right? If there's a problem, just solve it. And if it can't be solved, then move away from it. You know what I'm saying? But if it can't be solved, then move away from it. And it might have to be solved aggressively. It might have to be solved by moving away. It might have to be solved by relaxing. It might have to be solved by a conversation. It might have to be solved by violence. It really depends. But violence is always the last resort for a warrior. A true warrior knows when he goes to battle that he could die. So violence is always the last resort. Violence is always the last resort. But happy Equinox, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. If you're not doing well, I hope you're working on making it better. If you have some ancestors out there, rest in peace to my homie, O. Rest in peace to O. You know what I'm saying? If you have somebody out there that you lost, you know what I'm saying, during this whole situation, or even before that, get you a candle, you know what I'm saying, over the next couple of days, and just light one, and connect with them. You know what I'm saying? Connect with them. Whatever their favorite thing was, put it right there by the candle. Put it right there by the candle. And ask them for wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Ask them for help and ask them for guidance. And you'll be surprised what happened. See, the thing is, we think that we are matter. Saying Black Lives Matter means it doesn't matter. Because matter doesn't really exist. This is a show. Everything out here is a show. Everything is a show. Everything is a show of energy and atoms and quarks and gluons. So, what do you do inside the show? You vibrate inside the show. Doctor Strange in the What If Marvel joint. Check that Doctor Strange Marvel What If you haven't. That joint is deep. Crazy, crazy, crazy esoteric if you really dig deep into the messaging of it. But he was, damn, I had a point, but I forgot it. But still, check out that episode. That episode was dope. Oh, what he was trying to do was at the end, well, I don't know, but hey, watch it, you know what I'm saying? Spoiler alert, you might want to skip this part. But so you might want to skip this part. I'll give you like 5 seconds. 1, 2, all right, we going. So what he did at the end of the episode was he put himself in a case. He put himself in a case, he put himself inside his crown chakra. If you look, the shell he was in was purple. So he had a purple shell, and his purple shell represented his crown chakra. It represented enlightenment. It represented his mastery of magic. That was able to protect him, but only him. We have to start vibrating, and that represented his vibration. That was the main point. That represented his vibration, and he was vibrating on the crown chakra level. But with Doctor Strange, it took a lot of study. He's a magician. He's not just a regular superhero. You can get to the Heru level, you know what I'm saying? But Doctor Strange ain't nothing to play with. He's mastered. He has the ability to work with time and manipulate time. And you too are a time traveler. You can use your thoughts to travel through time. You can travel through the past. You can travel through the present. You are time travel. If everything is mental and the universe is mental, then using your mental to time travel, using your mental to time travel is exactly what you should be doing. And in your time travel, create new timelines. Create new timelines for your future. Create timelines for your past. What if you created the universe that you wanted. And then you start to see it manifest in real life. Go for being the best you. Go for being someone who shines and glows. Go for being someone that people enjoy being around. Go for being someone that people don't fuck with, but go for someone that is a light bearer. You know what I'm saying? And being a light bearer means when it's dark, you're still able to shine. You don't flow down with the darkness when it's dark. You're still able to shine. But you can still get dark if needed. But even in your dark, even when you're going dark, you're still shining. You're still fighting like Thor. You know what I'm saying? You're still on some Odin shit. You know what I'm saying? Odin with Hela. So it's a great time to tap within. Oh, what I want to leave y'all with. Mullein, right? Mullein is a Saturnarian herb. What you do, get you some mullein. Order some mullein. Some fresh cut mullein. Go to a reputable source if you can. If you can, don't buy the tea bags. I know people don't want to do that, but get you a strainer. Get you the regular mullein tea, right? The dry tea. Boil that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then let that shit sit. Boil it till it gets dark. You know what I'm saying? Maybe about, you know what I'm saying, till it starts boiling. And then once it starts boiling, let that shit sit for like 10, 15 minutes. Let it get real dark. You know what I'm saying? Pour it in your cup. If you want to go hard, leave it there for like 30 minutes. Pour it in your cup, you know, and you get a decent amount. You know what I'm saying? Don't go too heavy-handed, you know. Get a decent amount for whatever pot you're using. Don't put it in the microwave, though. You got to boil it in the stove. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want the radiation from the microwave on that shit. And what it's going to do is you're going to start peeing. It's going to start cleaning your kidneys and cleaning your lungs. And if you do that during this particular cycle, see, this is Kemetic, this is a Ma'at cycle, so this is a balancing cycle. And this is also what the equinox is. The equinox is a balancing cycle. The equinox is 12 hours day, 12 hours night. So it's a balancing act that you're on. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about putting yourself in balance. Also, if you're home, when you have time in the bathroom, sit down and write out how these last 9 months went. Write the ups and downs. Write the wins and the losses. You know what I'm saying? See where you've been. See where you're going. See, are you taking the steps? Go back to December of last year, where you wanted to be, in what direction you went. And if you veered off of that, see where you veered off and see what steps you need to implement and what goals you need to set that'll put you back on that path. And once you figure out what goals you need to set, once you write these things out and make it real, now you have a meditation script of the things you want to manifest. You also will remember and get the lessons because you wrote them out of the things that happened in the last 9 months, right? But now the things that happened in the last 9 months are going to influence your next what? October, November, December, your next 3 months. When now it's getting colder, but now people are more in hibernation, right? So now you have to make sure you get your sun or take vitamin D or get herbs for vitamin D or get food that's heavy in vitamin D. And you have to prepare yourself for less sun, right? Because you have to get up earlier now to catch the sun because of the way the Earth's wobble is. But there's less sun on the planet, period, and more night because we're going into the winter solstice. And the winter solstice is when you give birth to the new you. So right now it's all about going within, but it's also about going without too. It's about balancing everything. It's the fall. Things are falling. So what has to fall? What has to fall and what has to grow? And during the winter solstice, you do the heavy meditation, you do the fasting, you do the heavy spiritual reading, you do the heavy spiritual lifting, right? You use that time for spiritual growth and development. That's like a mini Ramadan, the 21st or the 24th. And the 25th, you start the manifestation of your gifts, right? And after the winter solstice, then there starts to become more light, right? Then you get the spring equinox, Easter, right? And then you get the summer solstice in June, I believe. But that's the cycles. So right now, today, you're in the midst of a cycle. It is up to you to take advantage of it. Hopefully, I've given you some tools. The mulin, again, is for the lungs. This is my odd cycle. You have 2 lungs, right? You have 2 testicles, right? You have 2 brains, left and right. You have 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 lips. You know what I'm saying? 2 feet, 2 hands. So 2s are very important. Days, balancing days, these are yin and yang days. So these are days where you set practical intentions on both sides, or the left-hand path and the right-hand path. What rituals I'm going to do, what type of money I'm going to make, what type of, you know. And of course, during the year, you're doing these things on individual steps. But right now, you're really trying to evaluate the last 9 months, put things in perspective, see how you're going to change your diet, see how you're going to change what you're taking in, right? This is a whole setup for a whole nother section of the year, a whole nother cycle. So being in this is you being in one with nature, being in this occult, in this spiritual, in this metaphysical, in this manifestation. So you're in tune with cycles. So when you're in tune with cycles, when you're following nature, and when you're using nature, such as root work, right? Using roots, which I mentioned in my last live, check that out if you didn't check it out. Working with the Cunningham herbs, right? Cunningham Book of Herbs, learning which herb does what planet, right? And just looking at it as a reference guide and starting with that. And then you come up and then Spirit will start to give you herbs. I swear to God. Spirit will start to give you herbs to use and what to put in what candle and what to put on what picture and what to put in what bowl and how to use different things, and it'll become natural to you after a while. But you start with the books and you'll have your own special set of herbs that you use. But right now, again, mulin is great because it helps clean the lungs, and the lungs is which gives you air. As I said in my last live and showed y'all, spirit means to breathe. Spirit also means wind. So you're breathing in air. Right now it is windy, so I'm breathing in wind. So I'm breathing in spirit. So when someone says they're spiritual, you know, I say that's great, you know what I'm saying? But the devil got a spirit too. Even though the devil is just the other side, right? The more aggressive side, you know. The crazy part about the devil is the science of the devil horns is this. The science of the devil horns is your hippocampus. Your hippocampus has 2 parts. Your hippocampus has hippocampi, right? And they are called Ammon's horns, A-M-M-O-N, Ammon's horns. And what the hippocampus does is the hippocampus stores memories. So the hippocampus stores the emotion behind the memory, though, primarily. That's what helps secrete the hormones through the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland and so forth and so on. But it's the emotion behind the memory. So you have to guard your emotions. All this talk about Haiti right now, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about Haiti. And no disrespect to the Haitians, no disrespect if you're a Haitian, right? But unless you're gonna go down there and do something, right? You're gonna send some money, send some prayers. If you wanna light a white candle to help them out and aid them and guide them, that is great. Because we are people that, you know what I'm saying? In order to be an empath, you have to have empathy and you have to have compassion as well, right? Compassion, compounded passion. This is riding the wave. This is riding the frequency. This is riding the vibration, right? Compounded passion. Passion is what? Energy. Energy in motion is emotion, right? This is what, going back to what I was talking about earlier with music. Compounded passion. So the Haitian situation is something that you could do that. You know, light the candles again, say the prayers. You know, but again, unless you're going to go down there, unless you're going to donate money, unless you know these people personally, don't be emotionally involved to the point where you letting the pain of what you see on TV have you stressed out for something that really has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? There's people of all cultures here, and the thing about it is, people of all cultures, no matter where they're from, there's a dislike. Jamaicans may not like Antiguans. Haitians may not like Dominicans. Dominicans may not like Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans may not like Mexicans. Africans don't like African Americans. British people don't like African Americans or Africans, British blacks, British Negroes, right? So everybody, the Polish people don't like the Jews. The white American don't like the Jews. The Jews, you know what I'm saying, don't necessarily like white people either. You know what I'm saying? Regular white people, because they have their own culture. But at the end of the day, right, it's about using these things and using these techniques really for self-creation and then creation out in the real world. Until you feel, once you master your emotions, you start to feel more with your hands and feet instead of feeling with just your heart, right? You feel with your heart, but then your brain takes over. You feel with your heart, but then that hippocampi, right? That hippocampus, those horns of Ammon, which represent the devil's horns, right? That's where it comes from. Those are the two horns in your brain. Look it up. Which they don't want you to know, because this is really the secret. If you could control your emotions, and that's something that we all are on a daily walk really to do, and that is to become peace. Because at peace, you've mastered your emotions. That's why on the Kemetic tree of life, when you hit the Ein Sof level, right? But no, it's not the Ein Sof level, it's the level below that. I forgot what they call the Homer. But this is the Osirian tree of life. When you hit Osir has the crook and the flail. So you see the Egyptians, just imagine two hands, right? Can't do it because I got the phone in my hand. But they got the crook and the flail, which represents a balancing of the left and the right brain, which represents basically a balancing of the emotion with logic. So the heart kicks in, and the brain kicks in, and then the body's controlled. That's how it works. You feel the emotion first, the hippocampus manages the emotion, and then all the chemicals and the proteins circulate through the body based on that initial response. So your emotional response to things like hate on the equinox, on the autumn equinox. You have to be careful right after a full moon. You have to be careful. Because Bobby said it, they always try to do something around the equinox. They always try to do a ritual around the equinox. There's a meme floating around where Bobby said that, Bobby Hemmett. So you have to be careful not to get caught up. Again, I'm not saying don't care. What I am saying is mind your emotions and mind where your energy is going. Because your energy is valuable and there's an energy exchange. And the energy exchange is you to really be feeling with your hands and your feet, and you to be creating the new pyramids. You to be creating the new hieroglyphs. You to be creating the new temples. That's what the next generation is about. That's the vision of the future. And yeah, right now, we are born in the thick of it, in the thick of the turn of the century. But all the holy books, from the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita to the Quran to the what else? The Nag Hammadi to trying to think. To the Mayan prophecies, right? This time's up after this. And also, no disrespect to the, whatever you want to do sexually, but whenever, and study culture, and study history, whenever societies start promoting homosexual culture on TV, on the news, and it starts becoming big time, shortly after that, these cultures fall. Study Greece, study Rome, study England, study all the cultures and see what happens. I'm not making this up. So, and we already know right now this is the downfall. But, and this is no disrespect, I'm not saying people shouldn't do what they want to do or have spaces for that. I'm just saying, for me personally, it's like leave the kids alone. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my children exposed to anything like that so early. But at the same time, it's going to be what it's going to be. My job is to make sure I train my children and teach my children about these things. And so when they're out of my space and I can't see them, they still have a reference point based on what I'm telling them and based on what I'm showing them. Now, they're still going to make their own decisions, but at least I put the information out there so that it could be processed and digested and thought about. So, hope I gave you something to think about tonight. I hope you go home and write. I hope you're home and going to write. I hope you get a candle or light a candle for someone that you love, someone that passed. And if it ain't, light a candle to an ancestor that you admire. You know what I'm saying? And light that, put on some music, do some programming, do some dancing, even if you're by yourself. If you're with someone, grab them, dance with them, bring some joy. You know what I'm saying? Bring some joy to your partner. Grab them, dance. I'm tired. Say, so what? Pick them up anyway. Shit. It's the equinox, damn it. We celebrate. And in Asia, the Far East, they celebrate. This is a holiday. I forgot the name of the holiday, but this is a holiday. In Japan, I believe, this is a holiday. And they light lanterns. And if you watch the Marvel movie Shang-Chi, or if you know anything about East Asian culture, the candles, the lanterns represent the ancestors, and they let the lanterns go on the water and sail the lanterns on the water. So if you have water around you, you could do that too. You know what I'm saying? And you, of course, do your rituals to whatever deity that you choose to honor, but remember that energy, take on that energy and use it, not just to acquire, but to make better. Not just to acquire, but to make better. So when you acquire, it makes better. And whether it's a character trait, whether it's a thing that you need, whether it's something material, whether it's something physical, make sure that you acquire something that you need. And once you acquire what you need and utilize it, make sure you get a reward. And put your reward in your meditations. Put your reward for changing in your meditations. Put your reward for character shift in your meditations. The universe is mental. That's the first law of the Kabbalion. The universe is mental. The universe vibrates. The universe has polarity. There's positive and negative. The universe has correspondence. What goes up must come down. The universe has rhythm, which I just told you about the music, right? How to utilize music in your manifestations, how to utilize concerts, how to utilize verses, how to utilize, popular artists. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying go listen to Lil Nas X now. And I ain't hating if you do. That's your prerogative, for real. I don't care. It ain't my world. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here for a limited time only, baby. And hopefully if you listen to the sound of my voice, you are too. And I want to ride the wave with you. Like, share, subscribe. I hope this message meets you in good health, on the journey and in wealth, and on the journey to a powerful, godlike deity mindset, where you are not man, not human, but you are God man, God woman, that you are an avatar, that you are a Nasor, that you are Allah in the flesh, arm, leg, arm, head. And I wish you all the abundance that comes with that. Because with that, now you have a teams of builders that could trust each other. Now you have teams of builders that are honorable with each other. Now you have teams of builders that don't care about what's going on outside of their tribe. Outside of how a lion has his pride, right? Outside of your pride. And there's lions with different prides, right? But a lion has his pride. Oh, it cut off, but it came back on for y'all. Yeah, so every lion has his pride. And some lions, have prides and they go get water and drink, right, next to other lions. But they all have their own space. And you got to realize what your space is and focus on that space. What's going on in Afghanistan, the earthquake here, the flood there, you know what I'm saying? knowing what the white man is going to do next. Oh, aliens are coming. Oh, he's going to drop a bomb. Oh, he's so smart. Oh, he knows everything. Oh, he's watching me. Oh, I'm being targeted. Oh, the government has me spied. Like, even if they do, right? Let's say they do. You still have to create energy to repel them, don't you? So the most powerful frequency is love, because love is empathy. And empathy leads to compassion. And when you have empathy and compassion, you will give of yourself. You'll give of yourself to someone else without seeking anything in return. That's love. When you're willing to give of yourself without seeking anything in return. Because that's what you do with your children. That's what people do with their dog if they're sick. Some people do that shit with their cars. All right, y'all. I'm going to shut this down. Like, share, subscribe. Elemental Magic class, revamped, retooled, better than ever. I'm feeling better than ever. I'm glad to be able to speak to y'all on this beautiful day. Happy Equinox, I say to the ancestors. I say to your ancestors. And may you be powerful, productive, and peaceful. Because again, a man that masters and a woman that masters their emotions, people that are not triggered by every little thing that doesn't concern their goals, it doesn't concern their pride's goals, it doesn't concern their future, it doesn't concern their legacy, will constantly be evading their own, will constantly be wasting time. And we will constantly be in the position, melanated beings will be in this position. Well, that's not going to happen, but there will be more people that will be wasted on this planet than needs to be. But then again, everyone will choose themselves, right? But while you're here for a reason. And you're here to raise the vibration in this motherfucker the best way you can. At least that's why I'm here. And I'm here to do this in the best way I know how. And no matter what struggles and what ups and downs you may go through, know that you've been through struggles and ups and downs before, and you've made it out. So use your mind. The universe is meant to direct your emotions, channel your energy, push your energy certain places. Direct your energy to where you want it to go. Direct your energy to where you want it to go. And watch things start to manifest for you. Watch things start to manifest for you. But it takes time, it takes practice, it takes focus, it takes discipline, and it takes a lot of repetition. It takes years. But then you become what they call lucky, and luck just starts to happen, and good things start to happen. And it's hard to see that when you're going through bad shit. But that's why during the good times, you have to manifest that energy, so that the bad times are few and far between. And you can weather the storm because you have tools to cope. All right, I said I'm just be going, but I'm still talking to y'all. All right, I'm out. Peace.